Hey guys, Detector here. So today I'm metal detecting at a local field. It's a soccer field. You guys can kind of see that behind me. So I've hit this field before, and well, not actually on the field. I hit those bench areas over there and those bleachers right there. I came out here with the MX Sport, but I'm out here today with the Fisher CZ-21. Here it is. So this will be my first land hunt with this machine. So I'm excited to see how it goes. I brought out a bag of crap that I've found before, and I put a couple of pieces out on the ground to mess with the settings of the CZ. Now, when I hunted with it the last time at the beach, I had it in auto tune, which I learned that when you have it in auto tune, the sounds that the machine makes are all the same, regardless of the metal that you're detecting. I learned that you're not actually going to be able to get a different tone unless you're in one of the number settings in the discrimination over here. So I'll be messing with that. I'll probably mess with my sensitivity too, just because, you know, I don't know how trashy this field is, but we'll mess with the settings and see how it goes. So I'm going to go ahead and get set up, and then I'll show you guys. I put 3 targets out here. That is an old piece of probably a beer can. There's a pull tab somewhere on that white line, and then I've got a crushed up bottle cap. So I'm gonna see what kind of tones these give off. So let me go ahead and get set up, and we'll get to doing some metal detecting. Alright guys, so I'm all set up here. So let's go ahead and get the CZ up and running. So we're gonna go ahead and turn it on. There we go. And I'm going to crank my volume all the way up to 10. And so we're currently in auto tune. We're going to go ahead and turn that down to 0. So right now I'm running full open, 0 discrimination. We'll go ahead and keep my sensitivity at 7 for right now, just because I don't know this area yet. And I'm going to go ahead and do my ground balance. So I'm going to go ahead and crank it up to 10. And then I'm going to start pumping my coil. Alright, so we'll lower it down to 9. Actually, you know what? Let's see. There. Alright, so I switched it to auto tune. When I was pumping my coil with it set at 0, it wasn't doing the threshold hum, it was doing a beep. So when I was coming up, it was going beep, beep, beep. And I don't know if you guys could hear that or not. So I'm in auto tune, so we'll go ahead and go back to 10, and we'll do it again. Alright, so I'm hearing change. So I'm turning my ground balance knob as I'm pumping the coil. Still changing. I don't know. So I went through the whole set of numbers and it was still changing the entire time. So yeah, I don't know. I did it with what the book said, and it kept changing the entire time, so I don't know what that means. So I guess I'll just keep it in 10 for now. So we'll try 6. And let's try 3. So now it's doing a noise when I come up and down. So it's like beep, 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 beep. So I don't know. Having it on 6, it only does a noise when I come up. I think we'll just keep it on 6. the least amount of noise change. Alright, so we did the ground balance. So let's go ahead and start messing with these 3 pieces of metal. So this here is the crushed up beer can of some kind. So let's see what that sounds like. Okay, there's a pull tab right here. So that was a medium tone. This sounded pretty high to me. Very high. And this is an old crushed up bottle cap. Okay, I was making sure there wasn't something underneath that. So that actually sounds surprisingly high. But I was able to tell a difference in the sounds versus when I was messing with it last week. I couldn't tell a difference. It was the same sound, and that's because I was in... Oh. Alright, so go back to 0. Now let's try it again. Those two still, I feel like those two still sounded a little bit different than that. But let's try again now, not in auto tune. I put it down to 0. Alright. Okay. Alright, so I'm getting a mix between a low tone and an overload on the machine. So let's try this pull tab. Okay, bottle cap. I think those sound the same. Got a bolt out here that is also a low tone. That's still surprisingly high, even not in auto tune. I feel like it's still surprisingly high. Alright, but I do hear the difference now that I'm not in auto tune. Alright, so now that I've done this test, I'm going to go ahead, I think, and head over towards that bench and see what we find. Or maybe I'll start over by the soccer net. You know, you never know. There could have been some goalies there that lost some jewelry or something. And while I'm still over here, I brought out both of my pinpointers. Now I did this so I can see if either of them interfere with the CZ. So I had Elsie, my Lander C, at the beach last weekend, and I didn't notice any interference at all. So go ahead and turn it on. I hear 0 interference between the pinpointer or the machine. Alright, so there I'm getting noise from the CZ. No more, so a little bit, but only when I'm close to the machine. See, like, so over here, 0 noise from either of them. Okay, so we'll turn that off. And I've also got Seeker out here. Seeker is my Garrett Pro Pointer AT. So let's go ahead and turn this one on. Now, I've got it in vibrate right now, so you're not going to hear it, but I mean, Seeker's going off when I get close to the machine. Like, right here, Seeker's going off, but I don't hear anything from the machine. Getting noise from the machine. Yeah, I don't see any interference. Yeah, no interference between either pinpointer and the CZ, so that's good. So I'll be using Seeker today. So go ahead and put that in my pinpointer holder. Alright, so like I said, now I'm going to head over to that net and see if I can find anything. So we'll get kind of close to it and then we'll start searching. Alright, so this is metal, so we'll have to be careful. Yeah, and it overloads the machine. So alright, so I think there's some kind of plate under the ground here, maybe, that the net is mounted to, possibly. So, or it could have been my shovel. Alright. So there's something here. So let's see about how deep it might be. Pretty deep. Not picking up anything on the pinpointer. Yeah. Alright, so now I gotta try and figure out where exactly this target is. So I'm gonna try the pinpoint. So it should be right in here. So let's see what it is. The ground isn't too terribly hard, it's still pretty soft. I think it's been a while since we've gotten the rain, but it's still pretty soft ground. That doesn't make it any easier on me though. I'm terrible at this whole dirt digging. Alright, pretty decent plug. Oh, I guess it helps if I turn my pinpointer back on. Alright, so I think, yeah, whatever it is in here. It's a coin. Is it? I believe. I think that's a penny. It's kind of hard to tell, but it looks like a penny. Alright, very nice. Alright, so I'll go ahead and recheck it. Yep, let's go ahead and check it with the machine. Yep, that's it. Alright, so we'll go ahead and put this in the bag. I'm going to put it in the part where the junk goes because I have my car keys in the front part. I don't want to get dirt all over them. And yes, I forgot my gloves. In case you're wondering. I did forget them. There we go. Alright, not too bad. Alright, so I'm going to keep searching in this area and see what else I can find. Alright guys, so didn't take me much longer to find another target. So I just dug this, and this was a penny. And there's something. Oh, I'm still in pinpoint. There's something right here. So it's giving me a mix between a high, a mid, and a low. It's very confusing on what I'm getting here. So let's go ahead and do pinpoint. So there's something right here. I'm thinking there's multiple targets here, honestly. All right, so I was pretty sure there's something right there. There could be something else. We'll go ahead and dig right here. I'm gonna try using my bigger digging utensil here and see if I'm able to do any better. Alright, so I got a pretty good, nice little cut around this whole area. So I'm just going to use my little one to get underneath. There we go. Oh. There's something in the wall, kinda. Oh, there it is. Alright, so I got another, what looks like a penny. Actually, that could be a dime. I don't know why it would have that color. Yep, it's a dime. Definitely a dime. Alright, very nice. So that's the high tone that I was hearing, obviously. Alright, so we'll put that in the bag. Turn off the seeker. Go ahead and recheck my hole. Alright. Okay, making sure it was, no, it's still on. Alright, so yeah, that was it. And that was a good ways down. That was probably about, I don't know, 6 inches down maybe? 5 or 6 inches. It was about right here, and this is the top of the ground, so yeah, about that deep. Not too bad, actually. There. There we go. There we go. And I know you guys have told me before to bring out a towel to put my diggings on, and it'll leave the area looking a lot cleaner, but I did not. So yes, I know I can do that. I'm not doing it. Alright, so getting more targets here. So we're gonna do pinpoint again. Alright, so pretty much right on the edge of what I just dug, because this is where I put my flap over, and that's where there's another target. So we'll see if I'm able to do this without completely destroying this one little patch of grass. Go. Alright, so went all the way around. Now I'm thinking this target's going to be relatively deep based on the depth of the coin that I just pulled out, and based on the fact that it sounds very faint in the detector. Come on. It's completely falling apart on me. Alright. Good enough. Alright. Okay, so I found it. This one is bent. I don't think I bent it. I'm not sure what it is, but found it. That could explain why it was giving off the two different tones, because it was bent. So I'm not sure what it is. Oh, well, I broke it. Alright, so that's a first. Can't tell what it is just yet. We'll have to clean it up when we get home. But we'll put that in the bag. There we go. Go ahead and recheck it. Whoop, that was it. Alright guys, so I moved over to these benches and the trees. I didn't want to keep tearing up the field over by the nets, so I figured I'd come hang out over here. I've got a target right here. There it is. Alright, so it's a high tone. So, do some pinpoint. Alright. Should be like right here. So let's see. Alright, well, whatever it is not very deep. Oh, right there. Got a nickel. There you go. 1982. Very nice. I didn't have to work very hard for that at all. Just had to move the grass away a little bit. Alright. I think there was a couple more in this area, actually. Alright, so there's there was a high tone hiding in this mid-tone. Alright, so this is where this mid-tone was, but there, like I said, there was a high tone hiding around in there. Well, whatever it is, it's deeper. So, there we go. Let's see. Okay, so I missed it. It's in the wall. I got some roots in here. Wait, no, I just saw it. There it is. Yep, pull tab. Part of a pull tab. Alright. Yep, where was it? Okay. So I'm gonna get closer to that bench because there's probably a lot more coins near that. Actually, there's another coin right there. I think that's where I found the quarter. Right here, I'm pretty positive that's where I found, or that nickel, I mean, not the quarter. Yep. Right in there. Still in there. Oh, right there. There it is. Beautiful looking quarter. Looks like 87. Alright, very nice. And that's where I found that nickel, I think. I'm pretty positive that's where I found that nickel. Yep, that's it. Ugh. Let's see if that's everything. Yep, looks like that's it. Well, except for that, but pretty sure that's my shovels. Yep. Alright, so yep. Okay, so there's a high tone. Mixed in right here with a mid-tone. right here. So I think, because I don't want to be digging pull tabs all day, I think I'm only going to go after the high tones. Right in there. Oh, there it is. Eraser head. There you go. Alright. Yep, that's it. Alright, so let's make our way towards that bench. The good thing about this machine having such a small coil is that I can probably avoid the trash a little bit easier. Alright guys, so I got some more high tones, like a lot of high tones. Alright, so since this is pretty much just dirt, not so much grass, I think I'm just gonna run my pinpointer, of course, across it and dig up whatever I discover. Oh, there it is. There it is. Penny. 74. Beautiful. Alright. So, cover that back up. Like I said, I'm just going to run my pinpointer across the top of the dirt, and whatever it goes off, I'll investigate. Of course, it's going to be the only time that it goes off. Why not? Let's see. Okay, so we got another one. Some kind of something or other. Some kind of screw into something, or I don't know. Okay, so that's that. Alright. Let's see what else. See, what I thought was multiple targets ended up being a penny and some kind of screw something or other. There's some iron, or some, yeah, iron. There's a low tone, or a high tone there, hiding amongst those low tones. It's just barely, too. Pinpoint's not even finding it. Oh. I know that there's a high tone in there. Alright. So I'm getting interference. I don't know if you guys can hear that. I don't know what that is. Alright, there's a high tone there. So, we'll see what that is. Well, I mean, I was gonna say, I know it's gonna be a coin, but I guess it's not actually the case. It might not be a coin. Let me pull up my pants. There we go. Alright, so there should be a coin right in here. Oh, there it is, right there. Yep, it's a dime. 2013. Beautiful. Alright, so the machine was able, or the machine picked it up, yes, but I was able to hear that high tone amongst the freaking out that the machine was doing. And I don't know what's causing that. I don't know if there's, I mean, because that's a light pole. So I don't know if there's some kind of electrical under there or what. Alright, so there's another high tone. There it is. There it is. Penny. Still pretty shiny, so I'm thinking New Age penny. Alright, very nice. Alright guys, so here are my findings for today's hunt at the, I guess the sports field or the soccer field. It was a pretty fun hunt actually. I've not done any land digging, as I like to call it. I've not done any land digging for probably several months, I think. I want to say the last time I did it was when I had the MX Sport, so it's been a while. So I had a pretty good time out there, honestly, with the Fisher machine. It's the Fisher CZ-21, and it was a pretty nice hunt overall. These are all the coins that I found. I found 1 quarter, 1 nickel, 2 dimes, and I mean, if you want to include this one, then 6 pennies. I'm pretty sure this is a penny, even though I broke it. I don't really know what's wrong with these coins. They all, honestly, they kind of seem like they've been in salt water. They're covered in, I don't even know, all sorts of little bumps. I mean, you guys can see them there, the shadows of the bumps. All 3 of these coins are like that. This one, not so bad. But I don't know what it is. I don't know what would have caused that. And they feel really light. This coin here, I'm pretty sure is a penny. It feels a lot lighter than this coin. So I don't know. I don't know what would have caused that to happen. But so these are all the coins that I found. And for the ones that I could get the dates off of, I think the oldest one here is, one of these pennies was 1972. So everything else is newer. Honestly, I think both of these dimes were 2000s, the quarters, this one's actually 1980 something. But for the most part, they're all, you know, relatively new age clad. Nothing old, no wheat pennies or anything like that. And then the rest of the stuff that I found, for the most part, is kind of aluminum, or actually I think all of it's aluminum except this, I think it's a screw probably. But this is a pencil head with the eraser still attached, some pull tabs. This thingy, I don't know what it is, but it's really shiny and I like it. But I believe it's probably aluminum. Same thing with this, really light. And this, I don't know, I'm sure you guys will be able to tell me what that is, but it's like a rubber, or maybe, yeah, I would say a rubber, or could be hard plastic, with some kind of screw in it. And I believe I found this over on the tot lot. And then this is just plastic garbage that I picked up while I was hunting. So it wasn't a whole lot of targets, and I wasn't out there for too terribly long. I think total I was out there for maybe 2.5 hours. But for the most part, it's not too bad, you know. It's been a while since I've found coins, so I'm pretty happy about that. So I'll go ahead and add all of these to my coin jar. So there's that. And I've actually separated my jars. I had everything in one jar, and it was starting to get full. You know, I had that spoon and the big earring and whatnot. So I went ahead and I took out all the jewelry and whatever other items, my key and the spoon, and I put those in a separate jar. So this one here is just coins, and it's about halfway full. So I'm pretty excited about that. So the rest of this here is garbage. I don't really see a point in keeping this, honestly. Even if I were to clean it up, I mean, it's not gonna, yeah, what's the point? So I'm just gonna chuck that. All of that's garbage. There. Alright, so yeah, overall I had a good time out there hunting with the CZ. I do have a tendency to forget to switch when I'm trying to do my ground balance, I believe you're supposed to have it in auto tune so you can actually hear the fluctuation of the threshold, and I keep forgetting to move it back and forth. So I tried doing my ground balance, but it was still in discrimination 0, and so it wasn't working. So I had to put it back in auto tune. So then I did my ground balance, but then I forgot to put it back in discrimination 0. So yeah, I'm sure after using it for a couple of hunts, I would eventually remember to switch my settings. But for the most part, it's relatively easy to use the machine, honestly. And like I said, I did read that book by Ray Pastor, and then of course, obviously, the user manual that came with the machine. So I think it's pretty user-friendly, and I do like that it has different tones for the different kinds of metals, but I wish it had more of a tone variation like the X-Cow. So yes, the X-Cow has, you know, low, mids, and high tones, just like the CZ-21, but the X-Cow has variations of those tones where you can kind of tell. So if it's a mid-tone, you know, sometimes it'll sound like really solid, really good, and it's either, you know, gold or some kind of aluminum. and then you have a mid-tone for foil, but it sounds a little bit different. I've not noticed that with the CZ just yet, but again, I've only hunted twice with it, so you know, it could very well have those variations, and I've just not picked up on them yet. So that's really kind of the only, I don't know, I guess con, if you will, that I've really noticed about it. Other than that, I really enjoy it, you know, and I don't find the weight to be too big of an issue. I keep it mounted on the shaft stock. I don't have it hip mounted or waist mounted or anything. And because I have the shaft, you know, short enough for my body where I can have my arm essentially fully extended, I'm not having to rely so much on my bicep or my shoulder to do it. I'm just kind of like flopping my arm, well, not really flopping, but you know, just kind of moving my arm a little bit side to side, and that takes care of the swing. I'm not having to exert a whole lot of energy to, you know, maintain that weight in a specific direction or anything like that. So I don't find the weight to be an issue. Now, if I were to extend my coil out farther, then yes, the weight would definitely be an issue for sure. So keep that in mind. And there is this one viewer of mine, her YouTube name, I know it's Sylvia, but I can't remember the last part. I think it's Sylvia Catalopi or something like that. You know who you are. I didn't realize after this hunt that my forearm was a little bit sore. And I don't know if that's because of how I was, you know, gripping the machine grip or what, but Sylvia's had trouble finding machines where her forearm isn't killing her afterwards. So she had asked me to let her know about this one. So Sylvia, my forearm does seem a little bit tender after that hunt, but it's not too terrible. So, all right, again, I got the Fisher CZ-21 from Calico. It's not mine to keep. I do have to return it after I'm done testing it out. So, in case you guys are like, man, you always get to keep all these awesome machines. No, I don't. I just get to try them out for a couple of hunts, and then I got to send them back. So, yes, so it came from Calico, and I have a link in the description down below if you want to check out their website, if you want to look at the Fisher, or if you want to look at any of their other gear. They pretty much have like anything you could ever need to go metal detecting or even gold prospecting. So make sure you check them out. Also, make sure to check out my Facebook page, my Instagram page, and my Twitter page. And leave me a message or a comment down below in the comment section. Feel free to send me a message on Facebook or even on YouTube. I do respond. And thank you for watching this video. Make sure to like it. And if you haven't already subscribed to my YouTube channel, make sure to do that as well. And until next time, I guess I will see you guys later.